Hello everyone. In this video, we will be discussing about second part of module 3 non-traditional machining process, that is chemical machining process. So this is the last machining process we will be discussing in this subject, and so this particular video we will be discussing about what is a chemical machining and generally how the chemical machining process will be, that everything we will be discussing. So basically, chemical machining is the controlled dissolution of workpiece materials. We can call it as a etching process by means of a strong chemical reagent that we are called as a etchant. So in chemical machining, where a material is removed from the selected area of workpiece by immersing it in a chemical reagents or etchants, such as acids and alkaline solutions. We are all very much aware of this, like a chemical reactive acids and all. Normally, we are well known to this acidic properties. So even like if it is any high concentric acid means, if you just spill on any like a hard surface means, immediately the surface will get eroded, or if it is concentration is more and continuous supply is there means, and we can able to see the like the removal of the particular like a metal piece or work piece, removal of the metals, we can able to see that. So now almost the same kind of concept only here will be using. And in any workpiece, if I want to remove only the selected portions, mean the remaining portions I will be covering with maskants, and the portions where I am planning to remove, it means that portions I will be covering with the etchants. Okay, so here the material is removed by the microscopic electrochemical cell action, as occurs in corrosion or the chemical dissolution of the metal. Just know what I said, an acidic reaction with the metals, the same concept. And this controlled chemical dissolution will simultaneously etch all exposed surfaces, even though the penetration rates of the material removal may be only 0.0025 to 0.1 millimeter per minute. It means the metal removal rate is very slow, and the basic process takes many forms, that is chemical milling of pockets, contours, overall metal removal, chemical blanking for etching through thin sheets, and photochemical machining like PCM for etching by using of photosensitive resists in microelectronics, chemical or electrochemical polishing where weak chemical reagents are used, sometimes with remote electric assist for polishing or deburring, and chemical jet machining where a single chemically active jet is used. And a schematic of the chemical machining process is shown here. You can able to see this. This is the workpiece, and this workpiece has been this red color indicates like the workpiece has been completely coated with maskant, and remaining portions where it is left like a blank, or it is left free, where my target is only to remove the excess material only on the portions where the maskant was not covered, and where I will be keeping this. I will be keeping this in a chemical reagent, and with the presence of an agitator, and continuously I will be heating this chemical reagent with the help of a heating and the cooling coils. So for whenever I am heating this one, the metal removal takes place as a result of like deionizing. And if I am talking about the cooling means, where I will be stopping the process. And you can able to see the three like a different process, like how the edge of the maskant is made. You can able to see this is the depth where this is a metal removed, and this is the first, second and third phase. You can able to see how they are cutting, like third phase, second phase, first phase, you can able to see. So this is the like stages by where the chemical machining process, the metal removal rate we could able to see. And this chemical machining process, in other way we can call it as a clean removal of metal from the pre-described areas without altering the integrity or properties of the metal by means of a photochemical process. And this process is primarily used in creating small thin metal parts of complex design with no burns or stresses to the parts. And what is the principle of electrochemical machining? Electrochemical machining is based upon, again, Faraday's law of electrolysis, where Faraday's law states that the mass of a metal altered by the electrode is proportional to the quantity of electrical charges transferred to that electrode. And chemical machining is a material removal process for the production of desired shapes and dimensions, and it is done by selective or overall removal of material by a controlled chemical attack with acids or alkalis, and the metal is slowly converted into metallic salt by chemical reaction and is finally removed in this form. So areas from where the material is not to be removed are protected by an etching resistant material which is known as maskant or resist. And you can able to see again a 2D view of a chemical machining process. And here we could able to see one more important component, that is agitator or stirrer. So why it is required means, if I'm when I'm continuously heating this chemical reagent, and based on the workpiece and the chemical reagent, based on like condition, if my workpiece is if it is a copper, I will be going with different chemical reagent. And if my workpiece is say for example a stainless steel, then I will be going with different chemical reagent. So based on my workpiece, so I will be choosing the chemical reagent, and based on the chemical reagent and the workpiece, I will be choosing the like the heating conditions. It may be like 200 degrees Celsius or 500 degrees Celsius or 1000 degrees Celsius. So based on that, so why this stirrer is required? So when this process is taking place, continuously the metals will be removed in the atomic forms only, not like chips form or bar forms. In the like a very ionic form only, the metals will be removed. And this stirrer will really helps to to move away all the removed particles over this workpiece. And this hanger I will be using once the process done means, with the help of the hanger I'll be lifting the workpiece. Similarly, in the beginning also I will be using this hanger only to immerse this workpiece in this particular tank. And the portions you can able to see where the metal was not removed, it was completely covered with the maskants. And remaining portions, it is covered with the etchants. The portions where etchants is covered, there only the metal will be removed. So almost all the materials from metals to ceramics can be chemically machined. So the component to be machined is the first cleaned in the trichloroethylene vapor or in a solution of mild alkaline solution at 80 to 90 degrees Celsius, followed by washing in clean water. So one of the roughest method is to coat the component all over the spraying or dipping, and this removes dust and oil. So the cleaning ensures good adhesion of the coating or masking agent. After cleaning, the component is dried and coated with the masking material, which may be cut and peel, and photoresist or screen print type. Finally, the metal is removed by etching. So the working principle is nothing but the chemical machining working principle is chemical etching. So that is the meaning. A simple word if I want to say means, the part of the workpiece whose material is to be removed is exposed to a chemical known as the etchant, and the enchantment removes the metal from the chemical attack. So the method of making contact of metal by the enchant is nothing but masking. And we have different chemical machining process that we can discuss in the next video. So generally we can discuss of what are all the chemical machining process. So we have a chemical milling process, we have chemical blanking process, and we have chemical engraving process. These are all the major three types of chemical machining process. So where the chemical machining for some special purposes can also be achieved by using a jet of reactive gases, examples chlorine on the machining zone. This is known as the gaseous chemical process also. So the machining or hot cloring machining and can be used for the deburring of the metal parts. So from our syllabus point of view, we will be discussing two types, that is chemical milling and chemical blanking, that we will be discussing in the upcoming video. Thank you.